live at Belmont Park. It's Perth race number 7 for our Singapore viewers, another event over the 1,000 metres. I'm excited to see the return here of Remember Berlin.
Absolutely, Adam, and that's our replay horse. We'll get straight into its most recent start in a trial, winning by 2.3 lengths.
Back to last now as they straighten up, and Diamond Princess went into 4th place. But Remember Berlin is the leader, leads by 1 on the outside under pressure. Do You Do? The leader's travelling pretty well, and so is Secret Charge, who comes through on the inside. They're well clear of the rest, but Remember Berlin is in front of holding second. Secret Charge on the inside, but Remember Berlin trots in. Remember Berlin by 2 to Secret Charge. Third, Do You Do, and running on Volk.
Another Simon Miller galloper to trial well, and you take plenty of confidence from that performance. Now, the 1,000 metres is probably too short for this galloper, even though that trial performance was good. This is a horse that we can see getting out to that 1,400 metres, as we saw last campaign in the Group 3 Lestier, but just on class alone and with the 2 kilo claim, I think it's just going to be too good for this field. I think it's a pretty weak midweek race as well, and as I mentioned, the Placid Art form lines, the Group 3 Lestier, they're good enough to be winning this, even beating Festive Excess. That's the Saturday form lines. I think it just wins.
A lot of people in trials look for those horses that haven't really been touched or haven't really been hit in the trials. I really liked its trial. It was allowed to roll in front, and then when it needed a reminder, Peter Nucky gave it a hit and just reminded it that it's got a race coming up, and it looks nice and fit and ready to go. In the race, we also have number 4, Jabel Musa. I know you like it back to 1,000, Adam.
Yeah, I think that's a simple fact with this horse. As I mentioned to you before, I spoke to Sean O'Donnell when Cliff Smith had this galloper, and he just mentioned that the airways aren't great, has a couple of breathing issues, and it'll be a 1,000 metre horse only. Now, came out first up in these colours for Grant and Lana Williams, and they're just having so much luck now for the Linwood Park Stud Syndicate, and was able to win, beating Count Carla, which I think we've got a good opinion on by a long neck. They stepped up to 1,200. It was an okay run behind Maginica, an okay run behind Massachusetts, but not good enough to be winning. Drop back to the 1,000 metres here. Barrier 3, Jared Noski, 59 kilos, now put it back into winning contention. One
horse I was really taken by last start was number 8, TRIMEROUS. I really liked the performance in the maiden. It came from nowhere, really. It wasn't too fancied in betting, but just came over the top of them to win like a good horse. It was settled midfield, and Clint Johnson Porter gave it a lovely ride. William Pike takes the ride here. Certainly one to watch.
Yeah, it was backed in a little bit on that occasion, but as you said, still went out at nice odds and wasn't one that was really being discussed. Just finished over the top with some nice speed early on in the race. Now, William Pike takes a ride. Brad Graham was very honest and said this horse only wants 1,000. It's as simple as that, but has showed a bit of ability at home as well. From Barrier 2, gets a nice run. Question mark for me going from a maiden to a Class 1 and going from 53 to 57 kilos. That's my big knock here, but with some tempo in the race can certainly be finishing off. But I think number 1, Remember Berlin, has to go on top. From 4, Jebel Musa, number 7, Foundry Court, and 6, Zenite.
I've got the 1 on top as well, Adam. Remember Berlin. From the 8, TRIMEROUS, number 5, Apashwa, and the 4, Jebel Musa.
Race number 6 at Belmont Park, and it's Perth. Race number 8 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,650 metres, and a good opportunity here, Mark, for a couple of runners that just struggled to break through to get a win in a pretty weakish Class 3 handicap race.
Yeah, confidence building win could come for one of these gallopers. One of those is number 8, Black Grape, who's been running well and ran an impressive runners-up last start behind Special Jewel.
Jewel just for a stride. Black Grape, the grey on the outside. Starkle down towards the cutaway is next, followed further back by Stormy Grace. At the 250, Tycoon Target challenged by Black Grape, and now Special Jewel is starting to get busy on the inside with Starkle. Down to the 100, Black Grape. Special Jewel getting through, has claimed it. Special Jewel races past Black Grape, Starkle, Tycoon Target.
Strong performance there by Black Grape. Again, just unlucky running into a better one as it did the start before we conceded. And the form lines now are starting to look okay behind Mambo Kadsi, Tommy Hu, and also Bonnie Zara. Small concern that Galloper still hasn't won for 623 days, but I think we're starting to see enough positives now that this horse is going to win a race, and this is weak enough for it to get the job done. Look, it's had the 39 career starts, only won twice, has never won at Belmont Park, but from Barrier 4 with 55 kilos, it certainly has to be one of the main chances.
Yeah, the thing that stopped me from tipping at the last start or having it in my numbers was the soft track. We didn't know how it'd go in there, but seemed to handle it okay. And look, we don't know about the track on Wednesday. Probably be a good 4 or a soft 5, but we know it can handle both. So should be an interesting runner to keep an eye on. Number 1 as well, Politics there. Finally broke a drought last start in Class 3 company, but it was a good run.
Yeah, it really was. This is a horse that I just put straight in the black book from the trials. So backed at each start since, was beaten half a length by Coruscation when jumping from Barrier 11, then jumped from Barrier 12, was beaten by Gloryland, which won at Kalgoorlie on Sunday, and then jumped from Barrier 11 again last start, but was able to win by 1.5 lengths. Finally draws a gate in Barrier 5. Only has to go up a kilo in the same grade race here, and as I said, with the weakness in it, I think Politics just wins and goes 2 from 2 or 2 in a row.
Another one we seem to get sucked into is number 9. Well, I do anyway. Secret Doubt from the Neville Parnham yard. Stephen Parnham rides. like we keep saying before every race, we know she's got ability. It's just a matter of Stephen and Neville trying to extract it from her.
She doesn't get me anymore. We're done with her secret doubter. Needs to get the lovely run. The annoying thing is she's going to again from barrier 3. She draws sensationally in all the races, but as we've mentioned, she needs a nice bit of speed in the race. She needs to draw. She needs to get that soft run, but then she still isn't able to win. Anytime she's drawn wide, the performances start to tinker. Barrier 3, 56.5 kilos. Should get a nice run again, but I can't have any confidence about her, so that's why I'm going with the winning form of number 1 Politics from 8 Black Grape, number 6 Starkle, and 11 Maximus Mac.
I'm going the 8 on top, Adam. Black Grape from the 9 Secret Doubt, 11 Maximus Mac, and 12 MERRIJIG.
Race number 7 at Belmont Park. It is Perth. Race number 9 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,300 metres, a Class 1 handicap. I thought this was a race where there's probably 4 or 5 that are a bit better than the others, but you can't separate those 4 or 5 with much between them.
There's a little bit of an unknown there as well with Fermentation being first up. We know she's got ability. We'll hopefully see it on Wednesday, but let's have a look at the second from another Maori boy last start, just getting beaten by Disco Smile.
On the inside with another Maori boy cutting the corner also. Extreme Dreams behind those. To the outside comes Sixpence Spence still running on. The Girl of Assen from last Gander Vista. Another Maori boy shut up on the inside the 200 with Disco Smile. And they're together. It's another Maori boy for Pike though. About a half in front. Disco Smile keeps coming back. Another Maori boy. Disco Smile. Disco Smile the outside. Another.
That was a really good performance here again by another Maori boy, just starting to string in these consistent runs. And as I mentioned to you, and we've mentioned on BoxSeat numerous times, this is a horse that was running in listed races without ever winning, and now the confidence is just there. Was third 3 starts ago, followed that up with a victory, and then last start was just beaten by Disco Smile, which was very honest on that occasion and put in a nice run with Jared Noski riding. Goes out to barrier 10 now, which is a small concern. It goes up to the 59.5 kilos, but just seen enough from another Maori boy in recent times that I think going to the 1,300 metres would be another advantage, and it will certainly be in the mix.
Sounds a strange thing to say, but last start it actually lost ground from going to the inside and the cutaway in relevant terms compared to Disco Smile, who had to go 1 horse inside. Another Maori boy had to go 2 horses inside, and then they paired off, and turned out that was the winning margin in the end, which was just a short head. Also in the race, we've got Card Knight, who was excellent behind Massachusetts last start. Hopefully he can bring that performance here again. Yeah, I mentioned to you in the preview that this is a horse I've got a bit of ability for. We just haven't been able to see it consistently. The trial was really good. The first up run was good as well from barrier 16. Finally drew a gate last start. The money came, attacked the line strongly, lost by 2 lengths on that occasion. Now barrier 6 is a nice draw again. Paul Harvey stays on board. The weight's still a bit of a concern for me with a 59.5 kilos, but this is a 5-year-old. When everything's right, I think it's got a bit of potential. Out of the same race comes All Settled from the Giardresco yard, who are flying. They've got 3 Metro winners for the season so far. Yeah, they're not getting much luck with some barriers as well though. Barrier 11, the 59.5 kilos, angled out for some clear running room last start. But I thought it was a really good run first up as well, doing its best work late. I think the step up to the 1,300 metres is ideal, and that's why I'm going to put it on top in an each way race. Number 1, All Settled, from 3, Card Knight, 2, another Maori boy, and 10, Fermentation. I'm going the Pentire mare on top. Number 10, Fermentation, first up, show a nice turn of speed. From the 1, All Settled, number 2, another Maori boy, and the 6, Come On Board. Time now to turn our attention to the best bets, and I'm going to go with race 3, number 2, Deadly Shot, and race 5, number 1, Remember Berlin. I'm going with race 3, number 2, Deadly Shot as well, Adam, but race 6, number 8, Black Grape as well. Hopefully we can find you a couple of winners throughout this 7-race program. Do visit the Rama website, of course, for track conditions and ratings. Take a look at perthracing.com.au for more event information, and you can follow us on social media as per usual. Hopefully, as I said, there's a couple of winners in this card for you. We'll be back later on in the week with another edition of the Box Seat.